Hello world, my name is Andy Thibodeau and I'm an impact speaker based in my hometown of London, Ontario, Canada. In fact, interesting trivia for you, do you know that for the 194th year in a row, London, Ontario, Canada was voted the second best London in the entire world? Sorry. And today I'm blessed to be a part of the Global Student Leadership Days that was held on May 6th and 7th of 2020. That event began something like this. It was March 13th of 2020. As a professional speaker, I'm blessed to travel North America visiting schools, leadership conferences, speaking primarily to grade 1 through 12 college university students and professionals that work in education and a wide range of other fields such as healthcare and charities. And on March 13th, I just finished a fantastic day at JMA Armstrong School in Salisbury, New Brunswick, and Petitcodiac Regional High School in nearby Petitcodiac, New Brunswick. As I came out of the parking lot, out of the school into the parking lot of JMA, my phone rang, and it was my longtime friend, Stu Saunders. Stu Saunders and I grew up together here in London, Ontario. In fact, we were born in the same hospital, St. Joseph's Hospital here in London, Ontario. In fact, a few years ago, they closed the maternity ward there at St. Joe's, and they listed all the famous people born in that hospital. Stu and I did not make the list. But other famous Canadians made the list, including Justin Bieber was born there, Rachel McAdams, the movie actor from movies such as Mean Girls, Doctor Strange, Wedding Crashers, and Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling was born there. He was up for an Oscar for a movie called La La Land. And in fact, Rachel and Ryan did not realize they were born in the same hospital until Rachel and Ryan met each other on the set of the movie The Notebook. So Stu and I have been lifelong friends. I first met him in grade 3, Miss Nolan's class there at Nicholas Wilson Elementary School in South End, London. Yeah, that's what we look like. Aren't we cute? But our friendship really blossomed through student leadership. In grade 12, Stu was the chairperson of a regional leadership conference, and I was blessed to be on his team as the person in charge of food. And towards the end of grade 12, we both ran for student council executive, and we both won because nobody ran against us. I was student body president, he was activities coordinator, and we had a fantastic year of school spirit. And that led to our career starting in 1992, where we traveled North America as professional speakers as Andy and Stu. And from 1992 to 1999, what a great experience traveling with a great friend as we got better at our craft, visited hundreds and thousands of events in schools all over Canada, United States. We remain good friends, even though we've each been doing our own thing since 1999. Stu's conferences have been a big part of my life, both the Ontario Student Leadership Conference and, for a second time, the Global Student Leadership Conference that was going to be held at the end of April of 2020. But on that March 13th day of 2020, as the world began to shut down amidst the COVID pandemic, Stu was calling me to say that the conference was being canceled. And that night, the cancellations kept pouring in. A trip I had to Saskatchewan, to Thunder Bay, to British Columbia, events across my home province of Ontario, Canada. It was just so strange to go on my iPhone and keep using the delete button and all of these events. Even it's over 2 months ago now. I still remember the strangeness of it all. It was scary, it was upsetting. Speaking to my wife 2 times that night as she was dealing with the learning that the schools would be closing. But let's turn this around. Let's talk about why we're here today as part of the Global Student Leadership Days and how we took an event like those cancellations on March 12th and 13th of 2020 that led us to here, the Global Student Leadership Days, the largest ever online student leadership event, and how it perfectly summarizes a program I do called Can I Count on You? Improving your reliability to lead yourself and others. And let's use the Global Student Leadership Days, Stu Saunders, Kara Gunnarsson, and their entire YLCC team, and how it brought us all together across those 2 days in early May, and will continue to have an impact well into the future. Trust. Trust is the foundation of everything that is successful. 25 years. I've been with Liz Hunter, now Liz Thibodeau, for 25 years. And the foundation of that relationship, trust. I've worked alongside Stu as a student leader, as a friend, since 1987. As a business partner since 1992. As somebody that he runs events and I'm a part of it since 1999. Trust is something you earn slowly over time. But how do you get trusted quicker? Can you say yes to the following statement? Can I count on you? That is such a powerful statement. Can I count on you? You're in a meeting for any wide range of activity you're part of. And you say, I'll do that, whatever the thing you're volunteering for. Do people in the room think, I can count on you to get that done? Learning, interacting with teachers, administrators, your parents. Yes, I'll get that done. Yes, I'll hand that in. Yes, my presentation is due by. Yes, I'll read that. Can I count on you to get that done? You see, when you're reliable, when people can answer in the affirmative, can I count on you? You are trusted quicker. And when you have trust, you have everything. When people trust you, great things happen. And let's use as a perfect example, the Global Student Leadership Days. March 12th, 13th. Thousands and thousands of events, including the Global Student Leadership Conference, cancels. We can't have an event. But wait. About a month later, into mid-April, Stu, Kara, and their YLCC team decide the world needs something. Student leaders need something. The wonderful administrators and staff that support students and support student leaders, they need something. I know pivot is an overused term, but let's just say they rethought how to deliver this and decided to move the conference online for free across 2 days, and let's figure it out together as a team. So Stu begins to reach out to his speaker friends, both those who were booked for the actual event in April and those that he could count on. The result? 33 speakers said yes. 33 of some of the finest, hardworking, busy, in-demand youth speakers said yes for free. And you think to yourself, how do you move such professionals? Because we trusted him. We trusted Kara. We knew we could count on them to have their heart in the right place, to have the technology and the preparation to make it all happen. And that would be an event that would genuinely benefit students and staff, but bluntly would be good for us. This was hard on our industry. It's hard on me to not be up in front of people. And 33 people said yes. So let's look at my program called Can I Count on You? What do reliable people do to increase trust? And I've come up with 6 keys to reliability, organized by attitudes and actions. Let's quickly go over them, and then the remainder of my program will focus on one. And let's again use the Global Student Leadership Conference because you were either a part of it or you've been seeing this video because you were referenced to it, and show you how the conference is a perfect example of that. Here we go. The 3 attitudes of reliable people. The little things are everything. What's a little thing? Being on time. But it's everything. You know what's amazing? The Global Student Leadership Days ran almost on time the entire time. And we're talking moving 33 speakers, Stu is the host, massive amount of technology in the background. The little things are everything. Kara emailing all the speakers ahead of time, asking for their t-shirt size, because as a thank you, they're going to give us a free t-shirt from the event. The little things are everything. When you're the type of person that prides yourself on double checking the spelling, proofreading for grammar, and sharing that with maybe a friend or a trusted educator that you value their opinion. When you're the type of person that arrives early to make sure the sound system works, are everything. So for example, behind the scenes with the Global, all the speakers had to report into the online green room 20 minutes, 15 minutes ahead of time to ensure there's no problems. The second attitude of reliable people: honesty, then fix it. Honesty, then fix it. Now that's actually so important. That's going to be the remainder of my program. We'll come back to it. And the final attitude of reliable people: share your care. You know, it's been one of my school assemblies since I first began in the 90s. Share your care. Everybody's got their stories about how the pandemic affected them personally, affected their business. And imagine Stu, early April, cancels this major event, is thinking ahead to his summer camps and other activities he runs into the fall. His big heart and his desire to care gets him to think, wait a second, what can we do to help? And the entire conference is based on caring. Both seen in the no charge, there's no fee to being a part of this, to all the effort to put this on in terms of promotion, in terms of the technology. Again, a big shout out to Randy and his entire amazing team. So the 3 attitudes: little things are everything, honesty, then fix it, share your care. Have them a part of your life, and you'll be trusted quicker. The 3 actions of reliable people: write it down. This can only handle so much. Take notes. Use a calendar. To-do lists work. Checklists can keep you on task. Before I go, I need to do this. I have to be part of that. I have a few notes in front of me right now. Hit this point. Hit this point. So much information came at you during the global. I hope you took notes. If you don't take notes, you can forget up to 85% within 24 hours. And between your phone and our paper and pen, what's a to-do list tool combined with a calendar that works for you? Use this time during these, well, interesting times to come up with a tool that works for you. Write it down. But what really elevated my leadership as student body president in 1988-89 at Laurier Secondary School in London, Orientation Week coordinator, King's College, University of Western Ontario, 1992, what really elevated my leadership was my next action. Make others look reliable. Make others look reliable. We all do the to-do list. Let's hope we do. But what makes leaders into leaders? When other people make a commitment to you, write it down. Classic example, somebody says, I'll bring that to the meeting tomorrow. You're running the meeting, you said, okay, can I count on you to bring in that idea, bring in that costume addition that'll make my costume that much more fun? Can I count on you to bring that in? That action of you writing it down in front of people will in turn inspire them to write it down. I still remember running Orientation Week there in 1992, and Derek, my spirit leader, comes to a meeting with me, and I say, hey, Derek, Mary Carroll, the Dean of Students, needs all the cheers written out by Thursday so she can go over them, see what we're teaching the first-year students, so it can be published for Monday to be distributed in all of the first-year student kits. He says, okay. I then look at him and say, well, that's Thursday. I want to see it Wednesday so we can go over together. Can I count on you to have it by Wednesday? He said, sure. And right in front of him, what do? I write it down. I write down his commitments to me. You will have that to me by Wednesday. Here is Derek's reaction. Can I borrow a pen? Oh, yeah, sure. Here. Can I borrow a piece of paper? Oh, here we go, right? Come to a meeting prepared, right? Write it down. But as a leader, if somebody says, I'll call you back tomorrow, look at them and say, what time? Pull out the phone. What time? And finally, a great action of reliable people are the 3 R's. You know, growing up in the 70s, the 3 R's were reading, writing, and arithmetic. I know the 70s were a weird time because only one of those is actually an R, right? Reading, writing, arithmetic. But the 3 R's of reliable people, they remember, they reply, they return the favor. A clock that Stu and his YLCC team gave me 6 years ago is right beside my computer. It says, Ontario Student Leadership Conference, the greatest gift you can give somebody is your time. Stu has a great reputation that when you speak at his events, every event he finds a unique way or gift to thank people. And when you look at it, you think, well, positively of that person. This is a mug Stu gave me 2 years ago saying, grateful to the mountains and back, from a conference he ran in Eastern Ontario. So when you send thank you notes, when you approach people and thank them, when you return the favor without being asked, in other words, they came to your event, you go to theirs. In fact, you say to them, your friend, how can I help you? So, the 3 actions of reliable people. Write it down. Make others look reliable. And the 3 R's. Remember, reply, return the favor. Now, let's take a look at what I feel may be the most difficult of the 6 keys of reliability. Honesty, then fix it. Big news. I'm not perfect. Even bigger news. Neither are you. But I remember after one time doing this program, I had a student leadership advisor say to me, if the only thing they remember from my 2 hours with their student leaders is the following statement, that advisor felt it was totally worth the time. When it comes to mistakes, it's not the screw up, it's the cover up that affects your reliability and how people think about you. It's not the screw up, it's the cover up. The more you lead, the more mistakes you make. One more time, as we pull that all together. The more you lead, the more mistakes you make. So it's not the screw up, those are going to happen. It's the cover up that drives people crazy, affects people's view of your reliability. Let's use an example from my first month as a student leader, Laurier Secondary School, fall of 1988. I'm the student body president. And Stu and I and our team of Derek and Jen and everyone we're running a welcome pep rally for the first Friday. And it was going to feature a rock band, and each band member was each going to do a solo, and we're going to turn off the lights and have a lighting truss with bright rock and roll lights and a spotlight, and we were the Rams, and I'm actually proudly wearing a Laurier Ram shirt today to honor Stu and I's long friendship dating back to our high school days. So we were going to bring out a real live baby ram. It was so cute. So it was going to be in last period, and there's 2 periods in our afternoon. So during lunch, we begin the setup, right? We have to set up where the ram's going to be. We have to set up the sound and lighting for the rock band and the light show. But then we roll into the period right after lunch, and a whole bunch of basketball players come into the gym. Oh, guys, we're setting up like equipment here. But we have gym class. I said, who's gym class? And in walks Mr. Young, my phys ed teacher in grade 9, my track and field coach since grade 9, the second most important man in my life after my father, a wonderful mentor, a great leader. I based my entire teacher program on a great thing he did with recruiting grade 9s and 10s with recruitment letters. But Mr. Young is not happy that day. What's going on? Well, sir, we needed the gym early to set up for pep rally. Nobody told me. And I remember looking at him and thinking, he's right. He's right. Oh no. And you've been there, right? You've been there where you know the other person has screwed up. They've forgotten. They didn't pick something up. They mishandled the situation and they've been busted. And you watch them lie, don't you? They downplay it. They say it's no big deal. Oh yeah, I called them. They say that you had forgotten, whatever the situation. And in those moments, that's where leadership occurs. I know it's not easy. We don't like screwing up in front of other people. Do you know what's humbling? Being a 50-year-old dad and apologizing to your 14-year-old daughter because you had overreacted on a situation and she had finished what we had told her to do. Because those moments are going to happen. There's going to be miscommunication. And so I had to look at Mr. Young and say, you're right, Sarah, I'm sorry, and in the excitement of all this, I totally forgot, and this puts a lot of pressure on you, and I really would appreciate it if you would maybe take your class outside and do something else, I really apologize. Honesty, then fix it, right? A wholehearted apology goes a long way to quell controversy. People don't expect perfection from you, but they do expect honesty. Whether it's one-on-one or one with your team, sports team, any sort of leadership group, your family. Honesty, then fix it. Then going back to one of my points, remember, reply, return the favor. I wrote an apology note to him and left it in his mailbox that night. I wanted to continue to work with him. He's my track and field coach. He's a wonderful man, and I had screwed up. You know what's funny? That story starts a portion of my workshop called Avoid Stepping on Toes, How to Work Well with Others. So what's a screw up in the past becomes a motivational speech in the future. Because it's not the screw up, it's the cover up that drives people crazy. I think we can all take a lesson from the story of Manute Bol. Manute Bol was raised in South Sudan and came to America around 1980, worked on his English while attending late high school into college, and broke into the NBA, where he was a major NBA star from 1985 to 1995. And as you can see, his outstanding quality was his incredible height and wingspan. Manute Bol was 7'8", and even more impressive, had the longest wingspan in the history of the National Basketball Association. You see, most people, your wingspan matches your height. So I go like this, it's 6 feet, matching my height. Not Manute Bol. Manute Bol's wingspan, 8'6". Go like this and add a foot and a bit on either side. Legendary. But English was not his first language. It was his third, like most Africans. And the urban legend goes like this, and was verified by ESPN, a major sports news outlet there in the United States, when Manute Bol passed away 10 years ago. When announcing his passing, Michael Wilbon on ESPN announced, "The man that gave us the statement, 'My bad,' has passed away." And where the urban legend comes from, but it has been verified, is that at an early practice with his new team, the Golden State Warriors, Manute Bol made a bad pass to a teammate. And because English was not his first language, instead of saying, "Oops, my fault," or "sorry," he said, "Oops, my bad." And his teammates picked up on it. And the next time they screwed up, they said, "Oops, my bad." My bad clears the air. And you know, it's a part of our everyday life when my 63-year-old minister and good friend, raised in the Adigonish area of Nova Scotia, I play doubles tennis with him in the summer, sends a bad shot into the net. He turns around, looks at me and says, "My bad." It clears the air. So let's take a lesson from Manute Bol. Step 1 to honesty, then fix it, is the statement, "My bad, my fault. I forgot. I could have handled that better. You're right." What's part 2 of this? Then fix it. Honesty, then fix it. One of the toughest ones, of course, is, "Hey, you could have handled that better." I know you were really passionate about that topic in the meeting, but it came across as a little aggressive. You know, we've all had those moments where somebody has pulled us aside and said, "You could have handled that better with this other person." And it doesn't feel good to realize maybe they're right. Maybe you did mishandle that. So maybe an apology has to happen. Hey, can we talk about this? Because when they don't get talked about, it makes it worse, doesn't it? Honesty, then fix it. Can I count on you to clear this up? Hey, did you call that person back? Oh, no. You've been there, right? Oh, no. Hey, did you bring in that? Oh, I forgot it. So right away, clear the air, and then I'll call them right now. I'll go get it right now. Oh, I'll go find an alternative. My bad. And you're out the door. Honesty, then fix it, right? What more can we ask of you? What more can we ask of you? Now, how can we put this into action in, say, the classroom, whether that classroom is in person or the past several weeks online? A great way to put this concept of honesty, then fix it, is to remember your grade 2 attitude in class. Remember your grade 2 attitude? We had no fear of failure. Why are people afraid of honesty, then fix it? Because they think being wrong makes them look bad. It's the cover-up, not the screw-up, that affects your reliability. So when you are the type of person that in class is not afraid of failure, watch what happens. You have your grade 2 attitude. Remember how little the fear of failure affected you in grade 2? And every time the teacher asked you a question, we all did this. Pick me. Oh, come on, pick me. Remember how excited you were to learn in grade 2? Come on. I mean, for you, education was a game show. What was the prize, Andy? Learning. And that's a prize you can take home every night, put it on the fridge with magnets. It was awesome. But there was one problem. Remember how tired your arm would get in grade 2? When you were 7 years old? You had to use your other arm to hold it up? Come on. You had to use your head? Pick me. You'd use your desk? Come on. You do the reverse headlock? Pick me. Pick me. But later in life, we're 11, we're 13, we're 15, and we don't want to be wrong. That's when teachers and educators and speakers like me start seeing 12-year-olds do this. You got your hand up? Are you trying out? Are you dressing up for the Spirit Day? Are you going to the meeting? Are you going to the play? They start looking to the left, right, behind them. But in grade 2, we looked at the educator, right? We looked at the educator. Pick me. And if somebody laughed at your wrong answer, you laughed with them. How can we put that into action now? Answer questions in class. I know there's a chance you could be wrong. But here's the great thing about being wrong in class. And I know this. You see, Andy, I set a record in high school. I set a record at King's College, Western University in London. I set a record for being wrong most often in class. And you know you're wrong when the teacher gives you the encouragement wave. Have you ever gotten that? I'll use a North American reference. So I majored in history when I was in university. I was looking to become a high school history geography teacher, and I was doing free speeches to improve my ability to be a teacher, not realizing it would be the speaking that would take off and not the teaching. So I love talking history, geography. So there you are in history class. Teacher's talking about free trade. Teacher says, what president and prime minister of America and Canada brought out the North America Free Trade Agreement? And there you are being all enthusiastic. Yes, Andy. Prime Minister Jean Chrétien and President Bill Clinton. And your teacher. I'm wrong, aren't I? Yeah. You can stop doing that. The right answer's not in there. Okay. I got that a lot. But Andy, you got an academic scholarship to go to Western University. I did. How'd you get such great marks if you're wrong in class all the time? You're not marked on 99.8% of what you say in class. And if you take out classroom presentations, you're not marked on anything you say in class. Best place to be wrong? Class. Get out your wrong answers. Clinton and Chrétien. No? Oh, yeah. Mulrooney and George Bush Sr. Got it. I'm wrong in class, but I'm right on the quiz next week. I'm wrong in class. I'm right on the exam in 3 months. I flub my answer so bad in my native tongue that somebody beside me laughs. Or I flub my answer so badly in a new language I'm learning, French, Spanish, I make the teacher smile, but I keep working on it, and 2 weeks later, I'm giving a presentation. My classmates are smiling because my joke went off well, and my teacher's smiling because my pronunciation has improved so much for the past 2 weeks. I was wrong when it didn't count, but during the presentation, I'm right. Have the courage to answer questions in class, to participate, because wrong leads to right. Ask questions in class. Don't leave class frustrated. I remember walking to a school in Brockville, Ontario, and as I walked in, the bell went off to signify the end of class, and a grade 10 math class emptied out in front of me. Grade 10 would be, 15, 16-year-olds. And one 15-year-old young lady said to another 15-year-old as they left math class, it was so clear, one said to the other, I have no idea what just happened in there. And I felt like saying to them, and I did as part of my assembly, don't leave class frustrated. If you are literally thinking, what's my homework? What was that again? Go back and ask. But too often, again, we look to the left. They don't seem to have any questions. We look to the right. They're taking notes. They're taking notes. I don't even know what to write down. Have you ever been there? Where other people are taking notes and you don't even know what to write down? That's where you need to have the courage, honesty, and then fix it to do this. And one of my favorite questions you can ask is, yes, Andy? Can you go over that one more time? That's powerful, isn't it? We've all been there. We're in class, the teacher's doing something, and your brain does this. I have no idea what they're talking about, right? Maybe you've zoned out for a second. Maybe you missed an element of homework. Maybe you're just not picking up on it. I mean, this happens in the math and the science in a new language. You'd be amazed at the people around you that don't do this, but actually do this. Good, I'm glad you said something. I'm not getting it either. Ask questions. Ask for help. Ask, can you come over and see my work? Ask, how can I do better? That example of courage sets an example for people around you, where other people are more likely to ask for help. Can you go over that one more time? Hey, during the work period, can you come and take a look at my work? And in these unique times, asking for help, how to do better. Even how I deliver this video, I've tweaked over the last 2-3 weeks because this is actually the 4th video I've done each time, showing people I like and I trust, how can I do better? As I conclude my point about honesty, then fix it, I want to draw your attention to an amazing company called Bessemer Venture Partners. Let me explain BVP. So in Canada, we have a TV show called Dragon's Den. In the United States, they have a TV show called Shark Tank. And the idea behind both programs is it's a wealthy panel of investors who have been successful in a wide range of entrepreneurial and business, and they have money to invest, to take ideas, invest their money in it, own a portion of that company, and take that idea to the world. They're called venture capitalists, investors. These terms are all used. And BVP, Bessemer Venture Partners, is one of the world's largest and one of North America's oldest, been around since the late 1800s. Their portfolio is incredibly impressive. Take a look at just some of the companies that BVP invested in early and helped bring these companies to the forefront of public knowledge. Not on the list include more old school brick and mortar companies like Staples and Dick's Sporting Goods. But I know you know these companies: Skype, LinkedIn, Twitch, Pinterest. All of these ideas were invested in by BVP and brought to the world. I in particular put down Pinterest and Twitch because they're favorites of my daughters. My one daughter, Isla, very, very crafty, very creative, and gets so many ideas from Pinterest. My daughter, Tori, has a regular appointment with a few friends at 3:30 every day on Twitch, where they stream their games, laugh, and talk. They were both amused to find out that the same investment company brought both into our lives. So, that's what a portfolio does. A portfolio lists your past work you're proud of. Those people, for example, applying to become into drama or into art of any sort at college, university, you would have your portfolio. Hey, here's my work. Look at how great I am. So why am I bringing up BVP? Because they're incredibly unique. And it's displayed on their website. Because they have an AntiPortfolio page. They have a page that actually lists their screw-ups. And what's a screw-up in the investment business? Obviously, investing in companies that don't do well, fail, and you lose money. That's one aspect. But the other definition of a screw-up in the investment business is you said no to an opportunity. That company went somewhere else for its investment, and that company grew and expanded without you, and you missed a great opportunity to make some money. BVP's AntiPortfolio page actually reads the following. Our long and storied history has afforded our firm an unparalleled number of opportunities to completely screw up. How refreshing is that? That a company would say, we're not perfect. We've made mistakes. And what it says to you, as say somebody with a great idea, hey, if you work with us, you're going to get honesty. You're going to get honesty. We're going to work together. We're going to be able to have the courage to sit with you and say, we thought this, and this would work to bring more success to your company, but they're not. So we're going to stop and we're going to fix it and do this or this. Isn't that what you want from a partner, from a friend, from a fellow student leader or a member of your family? Hey, this isn't working. We screwed up. We're going to go forward. And that's what the AntiPortfolio does. It says to the world, you can work with us. But what I love about the page is the hint of humor with it. Their frankness and honesty. It's so refreshing where so many times cover up and it's just fake news is used to wash over screw-ups. But not BVP. In fact, I love the concluding line of the page where it says, whatever our reason, we want to honor these companies, the companies they didn't invest in, our AntiPortfolio, whose phenomenal success inspired us in our ongoing endeavors to build growing businesses. Or put it another way, if we had invested in any of these companies we still might not be working. So I love how they tie that into, it continues to inspire us, that seeing other companies we said no to grow and do well without us inspires us. How great a turn on that. But at the same time, the element of humor. But if we had invested in them, we might not be working because we'd be really rich. Here's a list of some of the companies BVP said no to. I know, right? What a list. Apple. They had an opportunity to invest in Apple, depending on how you view it, either the second or third largest company in the world right now, back in 1977. And the entrance was going to be about $60 million. And the BVP executives thought, way too expensive. Whoops. Another example, eBay. When eBay came to BVP and left, the executives that heard the presentation made the following statement. Stamps? Comic books? Coins? You gotta be kidding me. Pass, we're not investing. I know. They had an opportunity to invest in PayPal. They thought PayPal would be a regulatory nightmare because every state and province and country has different taxation. Ugh. But the one that really grabs me, and I know it probably grabs you, a company that did not exist in 1999-2000. Google. You see, one of the main investment planners for BVP was friends with the person renting the garage to two smart Stanford University students there in the Silicon Valley, San Francisco, USA. These two students, Larry and Sergey, the founders of Google, were in this base garage working away on this search engine. And not once, but twice, this executive of BVP was invited by his friend to go into the garage and meet these two really smart Stanford kids. And twice he made similar statements that went along the lines of, how can I leave your house and go nowhere near your garage? But imagine the opposite. Imagine if they would have invested in Google when it was still in the garage as a concept. Hey guys, for $10 million, 10% of your company? And imagine the value of that today. If BVP can be honest about their mistakes, put a positive spin on it, the words one more time, inspires us in our ongoing endeavors to build growing businesses, even has a sense of humor about it. They actually call the Google AntiPortfolio, and in the most important moment ever for Bessemer's AntiPortfolio, they point out it's their biggest screw up ever. If they can be honest, so can I. And hopefully so can you. Because in the midst of all that we're going through here in early 2020, there's going to be a lot of mistakes. So let's be patient with ourselves. Let's be patient with each other. And let's take the Global Student Leadership Days as a source of inspiration to move forward with energy, with care, and with genuine concern for others out there going through these unique times. Thank you so much for the blessing of your time. Can I count on you to work on your reliability?